In 1943, the following directive was issued from party headquarters to all communists in the United States. It read, "When certain obstructionists become too irritating, label them after suitable build-ups as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic, and use the prestige of anti-fascist and tolerance organizations to discredit them. In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell. The association will, after enough repetition, become fact in the public mind."
What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach. So you get what we had here last week, which is the way he wants it. Well, he gets it.
In my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in, to kind of catapult the propaganda.
Late today, President Trump signed that executive order at the White House. It essentially allows the government to interpret Judaism as both a race or nationality and a religion, even though that is still open to interpretation by some. Steve Hunnigs from the Jewish Community Relations Council says the order is not about calling Judaism a nationality,
which is a complicated way of saying that discrimination is forbidden based upon race and other immutable characteristics.
This comes after the rise of what the president views as anti-Semitism on college campuses.
Discrimination can be based upon shared ancestry and ethnicity, even if the people share the same religion. It's a loophole within a loophole, or it's a loophole addressing a loophole.
We seem to have a problem with our main engine.
It was the first sign all was not well. The faces of the team said it all. Israel's dream of landing on the moon dissolving into bitter disappointment.
We had a failure in the spacecraft. We unfortunately have not managed to land successfully. We are the 7th country to orbit the moon and the 4th to reach the moon's surface. And it's a tremendous achievement up to now.
Well, we didn't make it, but we definitely tried.
A spacecraft selfie taken minutes earlier promised so much, but an engine fault caused it to crash, scattering into thousands of pieces.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh no, you can't disguise. Can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Although I'm not making plans, I hope that you understand this.
I know there's a strategy. I know you're coming back with reinforcements, something. I know there's a plan. You can tell me no other human will ever know.
There is no plan.
Ship blow up.
The ship? We would never end the ship. We designed the damn thing, didn't we?
We were hidden in the first booster rocket to separate. Splashed down back in the Atlantic just as planned. We ain't going nowhere.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Although I'm not making plans, I hope that you understand there's a reason why. So close your eyes. No more broken hearts. You better off apart, let's give it a try. To tell me lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. You tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. If I could turn the page in time, then I'd rearrange just a day or two and close my eyes. But I couldn't find a way, so I settled for one day to believe in you. Tell me lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. You tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise.
Now, let's see, where were we?
Oh, please, Professor, why can't we go with you and see all the crown heads of Europe?
Do you know any? Oh, you mean the thing. Yes, well, I never do anything without consulting my crystal first. Let's go inside here. We'll just come along. I'll show you. That's right, here. Sit right down here. That's it. This is the same genuine, magic, authentic crystal used by the priests of Isis and Osiris in the days of the pharaohs of Egypt, in which Cleopatra first saw the approach of Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, and so on and so on. Now, you'd better close your eyes, my child, for a moment in order to be better in tune with the infinite. We can't do these things without reaching out into the infinite. Yes, that's all right. Now you can open them. We'll gaze into the crystal.
When I first made the correlations between Kabbalah and science, I was stunned.
We do know that Isaac Newton had access to certain mystical texts, certain texts of the Kabbalah.
Well, the Kabbalistic description of creation is coming from a single little point, from a speck, and of having matter form and time and space form all together at the very beginning. This sounds very much to me like the description of the Big Bang.
I couldn't believe that the Kabbalists could derive these truths without really knowing any mathematics or physics.
It is certainly true that in string theory, the number 10 is the dimension of space-time for supersymmetrical string theories, and 26 for bosonic string theories stand out as a requirement of the mathematics.
All the things that could destroy string theory, all the things that do destroy every rival theory to string theory, they are all eliminated in precisely 10 and 26 dimensions. These dimensions are magic. We physicists don't know where these dimensions come from.
The Zohar says those things. It could just have been a lucky guess. I don't know.
The Zohar's notion that light is a realm of no time and no space is quite consistent with special relativity.
What's been stopping it so far are, number one, the lack of a good concept, and I think the Kabbalah is offering that now in the context of modern science. And two, a reticence on the part of both scientists and people in religion to mix the two.
It's rather amazing, this uncanny reflection of some of the most advanced cosmology coming from our satellites, coming from our atom smashers, coming from our blackboards, that are mirrored in the Zohar and ancient Kabbalistic texts.
We're in the offices of the publisher of Look magazine, Mr. Vernon Myers.
This spring, Dr. Werner von Braun, director of NASA's Marshall Space Center, said, early next year, we'll flight test the huge 3-stage Saturn V rocket, which will transport 3 Apollo astronauts to the moon. The Saturn V launch vehicle will place a payload of more than 250,000 pounds into Earth orbit. Now that's the equivalent weight of 25 of the largest mobile homes permitted on our highways. 25 of those huge house trailers measuring 10 feet in width and 60 feet in length. The Apollo Saturn is being developed initially for the manned lunar program. It represents the culmination of the growth in technology that will enable men to leave the planet Earth, travel through space some 238,000 miles, land on another heavenly body, and then return safely home. The techniques developed to accomplish this feat may be used for traveling through space over long periods of time to explore other planets. Now, this amazing progress in space finds the American people less than well prepared to comprehend its social impact. Scientists maintain a dialogue with scientists, quite properly to be sure. But there remains a much-needed job of indoctrinating our public with the consequences of cosmic communication and the inevitable changes in our life, in our culture, our philosophies, our economy, our markets. Radical revisions in our total society. Now, one means of preparing ourselves for the future is to educate by entertaining. The following film describes an unusual motion picture now being produced in London for release all over the world starting early in 1967.
3,000 miles to the west of the Grumman Aircraft Engineering Corporation on Long Island, New York, work continues around the clock. Here, the Lunar Excursion Module, known as LEM, is under construction. It will take 2 American astronauts onto the surface of the moon. Arthur Clarke, co-author of 2001: A Space Odyssey, was invited to observe the LEM's progress and comment on the events leading to placing a man on the moon.
We're in the final assembly building of the LEM, the Lunar Excursion Module, which will take 2 American astronauts down to the surface of the moon. And in 2001, Stanley Kubrick and I have set ourselves several objectives. We hope to convey to the public the wonder and beauty and promise of the new age of exploration which is opening up before the human race.
We'll know our disinformation campaign is complete when everything the American public believes is false.
Yeah, rocket launches are occult rituals. They're there to brainwash these individuals to make you think that space is real and your money and your mind we can steal. It's so easy to program your mind because you guys watch TV like all the time. We control what you see on your TV because we're a branch of the military. Yeah, we teamed up with those Disney guys. They help us propagate our lies. We make cartoons about space fantasies and put them on TV for all the kids to see. We program you when you're really young. We make space travel so much fun. Then all the kids fall into our trap and all grow up believing our crap.
They're called programs, man.
There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody high. It's only your imagination that's been a space. Ladies and gentlemen, space is fake.
Yeah. Tractor beam. Sucked me right in.
I was going to say thank you very much. I mean, that's, as a science journalist, my question is, through your career and your writing and your acting, you've inspired so many people to enter the sciences. How do you balance science with science fiction? They're both the same.
I'm excited about it, and the idea is to democratize space, to lower the cost of getting to many destinations in our solar system. And the reason you do this, everybody, the reason a society does this, there are 2 questions, Lauren, that we have all asked. Where did we come from? How did we all get here? Where did we come from? And are we alone in the universe? And if you want to answer those two questions, you have to explore space.
If I could turn the page and time that I'd rearrange just a day or two, close my eyes, then I couldn't find a way. So I settled for one day to believe in you. Tell me lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise. No, you can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Although I'm not making plans, I hope that you understand there's a reason why. Close your eyes.
Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator at NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a...
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. Money is a good thing.
Today we're taking a crucial step to secure America's future in space by reviving the National Space Council after it has been dormant almost 25 years, if you can believe it. Today's announcement sends a clear signal to the world that we are restoring America's proud legacy of leadership in space. Our Vice President cares very deeply about space policy, and for good reason. Space exploration is not only essential to our character as a nation, but also our economy and our great nation's security. The human soul yearns for discovery. By unlocking the mysteries of the universe, we unlock truths within ourselves. That's true. Our journey into space will not only make us stronger and more prosperous, but will unite us behind grand ambitions and bring us all closer together. Wouldn't that be nice? But will unite us behind grand ambitions and bring us all closer together. Wouldn't that be nice? Every launch into the skies is another step forward toward a future where our differences seem small against the vast expanse of our common humanity. Sometimes you have to view things from a distance in order to see the real truth. It is America's destiny to be at the forefront of humanity's eternal quest for knowledge. It is America's destiny to be at the forefront of humanity's eternal quest for knowledge.
And so in the end times, it makes sense that the same trick will be played on us, that we will be seeking knowledge and wisdom.
A lot of room out there, right? Infinity and beyond is infinity. Could be infinity. We really don't know. It could be. There's got to be something, but it could be infinity, right? At some point in the future, we're going to look back and say, how did we do it without space?
This guy just doesn't want to lie. No. He's looking down. He just doesn't want to say anything. This is why he didn't give any interviews for the rest of his life.
Look at that. Please do look at that, folks. YouTube video of the first Apollo crew to come back at press conference. It's really embarrassing. I mean, it's just embarrassing. The lie was so big that they really couldn't fake it that well. It was too much for them.
Another interesting find when it comes to the flat earth here in Sydney, Australia. Taking a look at the harbor. First off, before pointing that out, you see the Sydney Opera House, world famous. And you see Goat Island. I find that pretty interesting. A reference to Freemasonry and Baphomet. Now taking a look here at Darling Park. Let me get a little bit of a close-up. Zoom in here in these three buildings. Zoom in here, and they basically look almost like an uncapped pyramid. Very unusual architecture. Now look at what you see here. Let me get a little bit of a close-up and see what we find. Very interesting design and concept here in Sydney, Australia. Get a little bit of a close-up. And what do you see? The flat earth model. Another close-up here. And you see an obelisk as well. Now taking a look at this logo for Darling Park, I find it pretty interesting as well. You have the pyramid symbolism. It looks like a peacock. You have these three basically on each side, 3 and 3, 33. Find that very interesting. Everything, there's a reason. Again, they don't pull things out of thin air when they come up with these concepts, with these designs. Now, taking a look at one of the buildings in this complex, Darling Park here. It's kind of obscured here, but also the flat earth mapping. I find it pretty interesting where they situate it. People are passing by, coming down, passing by the world they live on, and they don't realize what's right in front of them. That is the flat earth model. This is a flat earth clock, probably the largest one in the world. Taking a look here at this little bit of a side angle here. And also, let's take a look at this short video. Very brief, but you get a general idea of what you see here at Darling Park. You see the flat earth model, and again, the obelisk itself right in the center, all about the occult. Now, one thing I need to point out, as many people know, the flat earth model and the UN logo. Now, the connection with Sydney I'll get into right now, which I find pretty interesting. First up, before we even get into that, One thing that needs to be shown is there just so happens to be 33 segments in the UN logo. Now looking at Sydney itself, it just so happens to be on the 33rd parallel on the south. So you see the connection with the UN, Freemasonry, and the 33, always with the occult. People can't see that we live on a flat earth with all the videos I have made and many others. And those that own and control this world, these Freemasons, and the number 33, as always in plain sight. This is what they're all about. Everything has always been hidden in plain sight as a form of mockery, specifically with the flat earth.
The current commander of the International Space Station about to break a big record tonight. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
They call it the Peggy factor, Mission Control's code word for the way superstar astronaut Peggy Whitson always gets the job done.
I love it up here.
Tonight, Commander Whitson making history with her record for any American. By the time she lands in September, her tally will be 666 days.
666 days in space.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of it. Saying I misrepresented myself. Away from me. You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
No more broken hearts. We're better off apart. Let's give it a try. Tell me, tell me, tell me lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise. No, you can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. If I could turn the page and time that I'd rearrange just a day or two. Close my eyes. I couldn't find a way, so I settled for one day to believe in you. Tell me, tell me, tell me lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise. No, you can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise. No, you can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
Drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.